So when they first revealed Borderlands 4, one of the things that was most polarizing was they revealed that they were going with like a compass up at the top of the screen instead of like a traditional big mini map in the corner. And people were like, I don't like that. I like the mini maps. I played a lot of Borderlands. I like that. And, you know, they took the feedback, they listened to it. But what typically happens is when the community gives off like really strong opinions on something, they're like, okay, we'll look into adding it after launch. That's typically what you hear is we'll get to it after launch. It's even what we've heard with like with a lot of like even Marathon, where it's like, hey, you really need proximity chat. And they were like, well, I guess after launch we can look into adding it, maybe. And then it took a massive delay, and now they say they're prioritizing it. But typically it's not something you just get without like delays or various things. But look at this, look at this. So Randy tweeted out this: Borderlands 4 creative director Graham Timmons plugged in with some folks from the UI team, including the awesome Jason Brown and the badass Justin Dooley, and got some art going for the super talented Ray Pena. These guys splintered off and made something amazing happen. They added a combat radar feature to the game. They just barely squeezed it in for a QA pass so that it can go into the main branch of our software in time to ship with Borderlands 4 on September 12th. A combat radar is now an optional feature in Borderlands 4, you guys. Here's a sneak peek of what it looks like. And straight up, they just added a mini map that you can toggle on in the settings if you so desire. And they didn't make you wait till after launch. So props. It is a big deal to be able to do this that quickly, because it seems like they were pretty locked and loaded on not doing a mini map. They were like, no, we're doing the radar. We believe that that's going to be more conducive to the exploratory nature of the gameplay loop, blah, blah, blah. But they got a lot of feedback, and people were like, you know, I really would like the radar. And they did it. They actually did it. As Paul says, genuinely impressive to take fan feedback from first impressions and hands-on and get an optional minimap out before the September launch. It is genuinely very, very, very impressive. Other people like Bird, when we played in May, I was sure they would launch with just the compass. They were really adamant about it. Now we have a radar that's perfect for combat. I'm truly impressed. That's just a radar. Previous Borderlands had an actual minimap. Yeah, I mean, it is literally just a radar, to be clear. It's not going to like present the buildings and things. As far as I can tell, they're basically scanning where the enemies are placed, kind of in a top-down view, and then they'll tell you if they're below you or above you, but largely it is a radar for navigating combat-wise. It's the premise of exploration in Borderlands 4, as far as I can tell, having tried it myself. They do not want you looking here to figure out where you're going. They want you looking here. That's the whole reason they went with the compass, because they want you to just see, okay, my POI is somewhere to the east. Run in that direction. And then you start running and your eyes are in the center of the screen. That's what they want. They don't want you staring up here, figuring out, okay, I need to go around this building and do that. It's okay if you don't like that. That's fine if you prefer it the more classical, traditional way. But that's at least the idea. I tend to greatly prefer compasses in games that feature a lot of exploration. I don't tend to like over-reliance on mini-maps, personally. Like when I play The Witcher 3, I try to turn off the mini-map and just go with cardinal directions. Or there's mods you can install that basically add like a compass to the screen, and I like that stuff more. Same if you're playing Red Dead 2, you can swap the UI to just the compass. I tend to prefer that, but if you like the mini map, at least for combat, they are adding it there. So props to them for figuring it out. That's cool. It's cool. It's pretty rare that you see them pump it out that quickly. Well, Strikers, I understand what you're saying, that it feels like something's been removed, because it technically has been, but there is a very legitimate design choice behind going with compass instead of a mini map. I understand it feels like it's just been cut and now excuses are being made, but that's like, with these types of decisions, it's made pretty early on. Hey, we're going to go with a compass. We want to design levels in a way where there's longer sight lines. Like all of this has to follow suit from it, you know? Donated. The only reasonable complaint for the compass in Borderlands is that it has too much elevation. People don't want to go find whatever they're looking for themselves. They just want to be like guided to it. Well, and that's kind of the idea, at least behind, if I understand your point. You know, if there's like a mini map that actually charts out the, like on the little circle, it says in like the yellow dots, you know, it says, oh, you go this way, you go up the stairs, and then there's your objective. You look at the minimap, that's fine. But the game designers want you staring at the center of the screen. They want you looking at the environment, the artwork. They don't want you staring up in a corner or down in a corner at a minimap. So once they decide very, very early on that they don't want to do this, they then have to design levels in a way where you can understand the route you're supposed to go without needing to look at the minimap. Like, they should design the level in a way where you see, oh, my objective is off here in the corner of this rock, so I need to run this way and get there. They design it in a way where it's more intuitive as opposed to relying on a mini map to guide you through like really tight corridors that are confusing. So I think once people try it, they'll have a better feel for it. But I'm telling you, like, having played it myself, I thought it was pretty solid. I didn't feel like I needed a mini map. It felt like the levels were designed with the compass in mind, which is good.